Titus 1:16. They profess that they know God, but in the works they deny him, being abominable, disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. When I heard that word reprobate, I understood the rest of the verse, but I wasn't really sure what that word meant. I searched it up, and this was the best definition I could come up with. A wicked or depraved man. Now, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, I think a lot of people in today's culture may be doing and acting like this without even knowing it. Let's pray. Lord, I pray that you can give me something good out of this message. You can just let me convey your words in the way you would like me to, and that I can just show your mercy and faith within these words. In Christ's name, amen. Who here has done something wrong, but did it anyways, just to impress someone? Maybe a friend, a coworker, maybe a teacher, a boss, or a loved one or a crush. In 8th grade, I made up a bunch of stuff to impress a girl I liked for many years. I did things and told her things that were unholy that I thought were cool at the time, that were all just worldly and unfit. In Matthew 7:24-27, it states, "Therefore, whoever heareth these things saying of mine and doth them, I will like him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon the house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these things of mine, and doth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon the house, and it fell. And the great was the fall of it." Now both men that built the houses, they heard Jesus. There was just one difference. One heard him and just listened, and one heard him and obeyed. And you might just be like, "God, I go to church every day, every Wednesday, and every Sunday. Not many people do that, Lord. Lord, I listen to worship music in my car once a week. Lord, I do these things." But when your coworkers, your boss, when they hear you, do they see God in you? No. And you know why that is? It's because you're not acting like it. You can go to church and say you follow Jesus, but your actions have to show. Now I want to ask y'all and leave y'all with another question. What happens when that storm hits your life? What happens? Is your house built on the sand, or is your house built on the rock? Is your house built on these worldly things, or is your house built on the rocks of the Lord? Are you going to pray throughout the storm? When a loved one dies, when you get caught cheating on a test, when you lose someone, when you lose a significant other, what are you going to turn to? Now, I got an example of 3 things that I see a lot of people turn to in this world that I've witnessed in my own life and through other people. And these are 3 things out of thousands of things that I could list. Number 1 is music. Raise your hand if you love music. If a non-believer was in your car when you were playing your playlist and they heard the music you were listening to, would they see Jesus in you? Would they see that you were a follower of Jesus? I got a few songs from the top 100 most played songs of last year that I thought were good examples of how the world might sway you to go one way. First, I got Morgan Wallen Whiskey Glasses. It states, pour me another drink, because I just want to sip till the pain wears off. Now, if you didn't know, now you know. Your playlist, it preaches to you every day. You're internalizing these things you're listening to in the car. When it's telling you, I just want to sip until the pain wears off, it's telling you, I just want to drink and use alcohol to get through this pain. In the Bible, it says, lean on Jesus. Jesus should be the thing you should be leaning on to get through this, not this. This might cause you into a deeper, darker path. When you're going through a hard time and you're listening to this music, not holy music, you're not listening to a preacher, you're not going to church to get through it, and you're just going to church on Sunday to look good, it's just going to get you in a darker hole. Another good example is Don't Like by Chief Keef. It says, I got indicted selling all white. You may be listening to this to pre-game warm-up for a basketball game or because your friends think your song is cool. But no, you're listening to it and it's talking about drugs and selling stuff. And this just isn't the way Jesus wanted it to be, and I know you don't feel good when you're listening to this music. And you know it too. In Matthew 6:33, it says, But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. The key words here are all things should be added onto you. He's not just talking about clothes and the basic necessities, food, water. He's talking about everything. He's talking about spiritual as well. Your happiness will be added onto you. Your faithfulness. You'll have these things that you can take with you forever. You won't have to lean on these worldly things anymore. You can lean on God. He's there for you. You don't have to feel sorry for yourself anymore. God is there for you. I gotta ask you another question. What we seek first reveals what we value most. When something happens, when the storm hits your fortress, are you built on that sand? What are you going to first? Are you going to go to porn or lust? What are you going to? Or are you going to go to the Lord? Or are you going to go with your godly friends? Are you going to go to church? Or are you going to go to youth? Because if not, you're just going to be stuck in this hole that you can never get out of. My second question for you is, who are you looking up to? I'm obviously not recommending these people, but these are popular people that you'll see now times when you're just scrolling on social media, which many people have. Andrew Tate, Nathan Goggins, maybe just the news. Maybe you get caught up in the news, and the news fills your brain up with negativity. Or maybe just your friends that are telling you to do negative things, telling you to go out to the club, party. This is what's cool in life. This is what we should be doing right now. But I want to tell you guys, the only true thing that brings happiness is God. We need to just look around in our environments and through our words and what we're doing in life. It can't just be every Sunday we're going to church and doing something. It has to be constant every day. We have to be doing things to show that God is our creator and savior. You have to be praying. If you want peace in your heart, if you want confidence that God cares for you, that someone loves you, if you want guidance, go to God. If you make God his righteous your first priority, he will provide everything that you need in your life. You can ask many people. Now, when I was first moved out here, junior year, I came to a public school. I met some bad friends. I was on the basketball team, so I met some kids that weren't doing great things. And they are who I looked up to. And who they looked up to is who I looked up to. I would go out every night. I would only care about what girls thought about me. I would only think about, I wouldn't care about my grades. I would start disobeying my parents. And it just brought me into a hole of just straight despair. I started lusting over women. I started only looking for that in women. I didn't even respect my mom anymore. And all it did was just bring me into a hole of despair. And I wondered, I was like, how am I going to get out of it? And my house was built on that sand, so I just ran straight to the next thing that I thought was right, which was that bad music. That's what I would listen to when I was upset. But now that my house is built on the rock, now that I know, I run to the right things. And it brings me fulfillment and happiness when something goes wrong. When someone passed away in my life last year, I ran to God. And if I didn't have that then, I would have just ran straight to the next thing. And it would have all crumbled. If God's not first, then something else is. And you got to ask yourself, what is that thing that's first? Be honest with yourself. Because if you're not being honest with yourself, you might not ever know. My third thing is, what brings you the most joy in your life? Maybe it's a person, maybe it's an item, maybe it's a game, or maybe it's just your own pride in yourself, or maybe you're just selfish. I dated a girl for about 2 years, and she was the only thing that brought me joy in my life. And I would just go for her for joy. I would go to her house when I was upset. I would go to her house when I needed something. I would go to her parents. I didn't have my own life anymore. I wouldn't go to God. I wouldn't pray about it. I would just call her and vent all my feelings to her. Then one night I went to church, and my mom made me go. It was on a Wednesday night. It was a prayer group. And everyone prayed for me, and I found out a story that someone had very similar to me, where they were just leaning on the sand and didn't have foundation on the rock when they were younger, just like me. And it opened my eyes, and I started to realize, my friends, they were telling me, don't go that way, don't follow Satan, don't do that. And I was. He put this through in my life to distract me, and he knew what he was doing. All I wanted was lust. All all I wanted were these terrible things. And I started to go this way, and I started to follow my friends in the Lord, and I started to listen. And I wouldn't just go to church on Sundays, but I would actually be doing the things. I would stop listening to the music. I saved a few people, and I usually went to heaven because I shared the word. I had that happiness about me. People ask, Tristan, how are you so happy now? Like, if they would have met me a few years ago till now, they would have been like, what's the difference? It's because I started doing the things that it actually takes, and I didn't just act like I went to church. I didn't just put that Bible verse in my Instagram profile, but I actually acted like I cared. I'll leave you guys with another question. If Jesus treated me the way I treated him, would I call that love? Because you can say you love someone, you can say you love a significant other, but you actually have to act like it. We know only a functional marriage, a functional relationship with friends and stuff, you have to be there for that person. Are you being there for Jesus right now? Be honest with yourself. I'll bring it back to the main verse. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable, disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. I'm not saying you're going to be able to change in a day, maybe not even a year,